Well, I think it's absolutely incredible what you're doing because unfortunately there are a lot of sickos in this world, and I'm so glad that you're out there in the community being that guardian angel for kids that might not know what path they're going down, man. So thank you so much. Greetings, Red Tie community. It's the Ball Guy and the Red Tie. John Butler, your favorite bald-headed red tie wearing show host, with somebody very special right now. I'm excited. I feel like we have a celebrity in the studio right now.
Yeah.
I feel like Batman just showed up. Like you literally are the superhero of Wildemar in this whole area right now.
Hey, Batman's my favorite, so.
Yeah, he's a badass, dude.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So for those who don't know who I'm talking to right now, this is Mr. E.J. Twyman. This man over the past few months has been lighting up Facebook, YouTube with a series called Gotcha Predators. And so if you're not familiar with it, I highly recommend that you jump on YouTube and check it out. But what's amazing is you just decided one day you're going to do something for your community. You're going to show up and protect them from people that are perverted, meaning adults looking for children, minors, on these apps. And so let's jump into it, man. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, man. I appreciate you having me on.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's I grew up out here, you know, and I met a lot of cool people out here, you know, and having kids just changes your view on a lot of things, you know. Sorry.
No problem.
Yeah, having kids changes your view on a lot of things, and I didn't expect it to become this, you know. And I didn't expect to actually catch a guy. So
Well, let's go back to that. So did this start in November?
It started on my daughter's birthday.
Okay.
Yeah, it started on her birthday. She kept asking for a phone. She's been asking for a phone for a while.
Right.
Yeah, and I was like, okay, well, let me go on here and see what it's like, you know, because I know it's changed since I was younger and things like that. So I went on there and posed as a younger girl. That was the first time I did it, posed as a younger girl, 15 years old. Within 30 to 40 minutes, I was talking to a guy, told him how old I was. He was close by, so he wanted to meet up, and so we met up.
Now, what was your emotion going through that? Like, because this all kind of like happened, like you weren't really planning on putting this together. This is just something like, hey, a little experiment here.
Yeah, because, you know, like I said, my daughter wanted a phone, so I wanted to see what it was like, you know, going on these apps as a kid, you know, because when I was younger, you know, if you go on a website, it says you have to be 18. Okay, well, I'm just going to say I'm 18, you know, then you see whatever is on the website. So it's like kids can do that on these apps as well. So I was okay, I'll see if my daughter would do that, what would happen? And then that's what happened. You know, the guy was willing to meet up with her.
Not even an hour.
Not even an hour, you know, and it was crazy to me because it's right there. It's right in my community, you know, like 5 miles away, 10 minutes away, whatever it was, you know. So it was like, it was an eye-opener. So, and as a father with 2 daughters, you stress constantly, you know. In the world that we're living in now, like, it's like I stress constantly about what she's going to be exposed to, what she's going to want to be like based off of, you know, her friends, society. So it was like, okay. You know, I was sitting at home because I had a job before. I was working, but I've never liked a 9 to 5, like, ever. You know, I played basketball in Elsinore, went to college for basketball. I was supposed to go to the NBA. That was it, you know. Decided to come back to be closer to my daughter. So I dove into music, and I still can make some music. I'm nice, you know.
Stay out my way.
Yeah, that's my song, you know. And it was crazy. I made that way before.
Yeah.
I made that like last year, way before I even thought about doing any of this, you know. But it fit, you know. It's a mission that we need to protect our kids, and you don't have to just sit back and wait for the police. You don't have to sit back and wait for the teachers, the school district, whatever it is. You can get up and do something, and it's like I'm about to be 26 tomorrow.
Happy birthday, man.
Thank you, man. Thank you. But it's like, you know, why wait till you're older to make a difference?
Yeah.
You know, instead of just sitting at home, going to the job I hate, you know, working a 9 to 5. I was like, nah, I can do more than that. And so this was just something that fell into my lap, and I'm able to, you know, do it. I'm pretty good at it.
Well, I would say so, man. Like every video is there. It's the shook moment that everybody's looking for, right? You know what I mean? And it's like, so going back to that earlier question of what was that emotion? Like, are you nervous, scared? Just are you full of rage? Like, you talk to most guys, you're like talking about child molesters and stuff, and every macho guy goes, I'm gonna beat their face. But it's like you have an authoritative presence, but you're cool and calm and collected. You know what I mean? But you're pushing it. So
well, I'm the type of person, I'm gonna say what I want to say, and how you interpret that is up to you. I've always been that way, so I don't care how people take what I say. And these guys, they don't deserve respect. So it's automatic that I'm talking down to you in a way, like you're a child, because you're doing something that's immature and stupid, you know. So it's like, and I know they're thinking they're gonna meet a child. So if I come with that authority,
They're caught
they're
off.
shook, because they're expecting an innocent child that they can take advantage of,
Manipulate and all that.
exactly. So it's like, and when you talk to someone when they're in the wrong, like, I know what you're doing, they don't know, they're just thinking of all these different things to say, and they start to fumble, and then they start to admit the truth because they know they're wrong.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and that's the greatest moment of your videos is like, because you do have that presence, and you know, they look at you like, I love it when the camera guy catches like those looks, and he's like,
he's great.
Their brains are like blown immediately,
Yep.
and they're like, crap. And so they're trying to figure out, are you a cop or what's going on
Right.
here? You know, are you gonna beat me up? And
Exactly, and that's the thing. I try to change my voice in a more like, hey, it's all right, I just want to talk to you, because I know they're scared.
Yeah.
And it's like, if you come with them that way, they might open up to what you want to get out of them, the truth. If I'm over here yelling at them, cussing them out, talking down to them in like a negative way, they're gonna shut down.
Yeah.
They're gonna run and not get any information out, and most of these guys incriminate themselves.
Yeah.
I don't have to do much.
Man. So there's no deli in the Stater Brothers, huh?
There's no coffee in Stater
coffee
Brothers.
shop.
I don't understand. Like, have they never been to a Stater Brothers? And it works every time. I'm gonna have to change that now because people are gonna see this, but it works every time.
Yeah.
So, and it's crazy. Like, some of the guys live around here or in Riverside County.
Yeah.
What Stater Brothers has a coffee bar?
Yeah.
So, but they're so eager, and I think it's because it's like, wow, I finally got the chance, so I'm not gonna miss out on it. That's how I see them, what they're thinking. I got that chance, so I'm not gonna miss out on that. I'm gonna take that risk because I might not get it again.
Now, I know you've hit these guys with lots of questions and stuff like that, and I saw the one the other day where he was in the Mexican restaurant, and he was the most open one to talk about things, but he kept trying to like deny it, and then he would accept responsibility, but then he would deny it again.
Right, it's confusing.
Yeah. But have you ever gotten inside their heads, like, and actually gotten any? Not that any of the answers would be relevant, but I mean, anybody that explained, oh yeah, this is why I like little kids.
They all have the same script. I was there to. There's people that try to groom kids as well. Like, there's I don't know if I'm right in all this, but this is what I've been experiencing. There's the ones that just want it right then and there. They don't care. They just want it. And then there's the ones that I just want to be your friend. I want to take you out and get some coffee. Talk about where you're at in your life. See what the chemistry is like. All that to me is just like, it's weird. Just to say to a child, that you met on a dating app. That's weird.
And you're 50, 60 years old.
You're 50 or even 30.
Yeah.
Even, 20, like 26, 25, all those is like, better.
Yeah.
And even if it's not an actual kid, it's me, If that was an actual kid that was willing to meet up with this person and they show up, they're going to do what he had planned. That kid's already innocent and gullible enough to go. He's going to make sure that he accomplishes his goal. Some of these guys are driving over an hour away. Yeah. They're not going to come down here and not get what they wanted,
Yeah. And didn't you have someone from, was it North Dakota or something like that?
Nebraska. Yeah, he had the ponytail guy. Yeah, he had a Nebraska guy. He was visiting family, and when I asked him, like, so you just came down here to mess with a little boy and then go back to Nebraska? He said, well, no, I was just bored and had time. It's like, that's what they all say, they were bored. So to me, it's like, maybe not all these guys are searching for a child, but if they have the opportunity, they'll take it. And that's what's scary. Some are okay with them. They like that. They get more excited once I say I'm younger. But some of them are like, well, the opportunity came up, so I took it. And that's still just as wrong. Yeah. Because there's kids out there that are lost. They're going through things. They're looking for someone to say, hey, let's go get some coffee. Let's talk about your life, And they groom them into becoming what they want. And so it's just opening my eyes to a lot of things, Man.
What's terrifying is that, when I first saw your couple episodes, I was like, okay, and I thought maybe that would be it. But it's like you're going to the fishing hole, and every time you throw out the hook, man, you're getting somebody. It's like your videos are almost daily or bi-daily now.
Almost, pretty much.
And this is just this area, which everyone thinks, Southwest Riverside County is nice, safe, and no, it's not, like those big cities or anything like that. But what's heartbreaking is that this is across America and the world. but how many people are falling into that trap? Young
Right.
kids.
And it wasn't just my daughter asking for a phone. I quit my job because I'm not commuting to LA. It's just not gonna happen. I'm gonna just wait and find something that I actually want to do. And I was watching the news. You know, every day is watching the news, which you probably shouldn't do. You know, but all I saw was sex trafficking. Every couple minutes, sex trafficking. Or I changed the channel, sex trafficking. And it's like, how is that? How are we allowing that to be such a big issue and not doing something about it?
Right.
People's kids are being taken and then never seen again, but they know they're being trafficked because you can see them on the dark web or something. And it's like, I can't change what Washington does or politics and all that, but I can affect my community.
Yep.
You know, that's something I can do. Everyone around me can do it. You know, and why wait until it's your kid or a neighbor's kid? You know.
What's been interesting over the past couple of videos is it sounds like you're starting to get some fans.
Oh yeah, yes I am.
so
I definitely
so
am.
you're staked outside, and then all of a sudden EJ, we love what you're doing.
Yep.
You know?
And that's what I like that though, because that means my community is behind me.
Yeah.
And that means that it could become something where we all take part in it, and then it can start here. It can branch out to another city, and then it goes to other states, and goes to all these other things where the parents are taking control over what happens with their kids. You know, so that's how I see it. And it didn't start off like that. You know. And like if you see my first videos, I don't know what I'm doing, but I know what I'm doing is right. Yeah. So that's why I had no fear going up there confronting this guy. I was ready for whatever happened, and I went up there by myself. So it was.
Yeah, you started doing the solo, right?
The first 4 or 5 videos by myself.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I had a guy contact me. I don't want to go too much into that, but we saw it differently. What I was doing it for, what he was doing it for.
Sure.
And then I met Kai through the guy that I had to let go. And Kai is a great guy. He's a great guy. He's had my back since the beginning. He just wanted to help. He wasn't talking about money percentages because that's not what I was talking about. So we just clicked. And he's like a hype man. He's always hype. He's
ready to go.
Ready to go. Whenever I call him, I'm out the door. And that's what I liked, because it made my mom feel better too, having someone there with me.
Although you do have that presence where I'm pretty sure you can handle your own.
Oh yeah, yeah, and I have no fear in that, and I
Yeah.
pray before I go.
Yeah.
And if you're doing something right, God's got your back. And honestly, I told my mom, it's like, I'd rather go out doing this than to go out in a car accident, being shot over Skittles, anything that's irrelevant. Like we can protect our children, and we can do something with our lives and make a bigger impact.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, your theme song, which I find amazing that you wrote it.
Oh yeah.
That's awesome. But it's I'm on a mission, stay about my way.
Oh yeah.
And it just totally fits into it. And in your video you'll talk about how you'll even like kind of witness to some of these guys, like, do you believe in God? And
right, I try
to plant those seeds in them.
Yeah, because it's not just I'm trying to embarrass you and get YouTube likes and all that stuff. It's like, maybe I'm here to shake you into reality, what you should be doing, to change your life, to make your life go in a different direction. And some of these guys, maybe going to jail is what you need.
Yeah.
Because you're doing something that's going to affect a kid for the rest of their life. And some of these guys, like, okay, you made a stupid decision right now, but you're not understanding how that one stupid decision can affect a kid forever.
Forever and ever.
And
those ripple effects.
Exactly. I still haven't forgot what happened.
Yeah.
And I'm about to be 26. So it's like, men have to understand, and you should understand, kids are vulnerable. You were a kid once. You know what's going on. And most of the time, most of these guys probably got touched themselves.
Yep.
So it's like it's a cycle, and I guess it's hard for them to break, but it's not gonna happen to my children.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do whatever I can.
So you hit on something right there about your past. Do you mind kind of open up about just maybe that'll help the audience kind of see maybe some of that core motivation, where that comes from? Yeah,
and like I was saying before, no one knows this. Only my sister knows, and now some people are starting to find out. But I was molested when I was very young. My parents never knew. No one in the family ever knew. My sister, I told her when I remembered in high school. I forgot about it for years, just put it in the back of my brain. And then I remembered when I was probably a sophomore or junior in high school. And I know it was hard for me to deal with at 15, at 16, So I can't imagine, kids that are 12, 13, 14, being exposed to that, or remembering that, or even going through that at that time. It's just, it drives me because I remember how I felt when I remembered what happened, So it's like, for one, like I said, I don't want it to happen to my children or my friends' children or my nieces or anything like that. But parents have to understand technology brings a dark side. It's great, but there's people that will use that to take advantage of your kids, And no parent wants to know that something happened to their kid and you couldn't do anything to stop it.
Right.
But you can by watching what they do on their phone, by talking to them about the dangers of it, showing them these videos that I put out, because it's an eye-opener, not just for the parents, but for the kids, that there's people out there that are waiting to take advantage of you, So I don't know. It's just, it's still hard for me to talk about, to go into depth about it, but I feel like it comes full circle. There's a reason why I'm doing this. There's a reason why these men will sit down and talk to me, There's something more behind it, so I'm going to keep doing it until, more parents, more laws are changed, something, Yeah. So, and if you go on YouTube, there's other people doing this in other states, But I want information. I want to know why you're doing it. I want to know what's in your brain. Is it a chemical thing? Is it just a choice? Talk to me. I want to know, so we can counteract that to protect our kids. So.
Yeah. And, unfortunately, I think your story is far more universal than society's talking about. And we talked a little bit about on the show, before the show, and unfortunately I was one of the same in that same boat. I was 5 years old, and the babysitter's brother came over and liked to play special games in the back room.
Right.
And it's and I too didn't really even, because you repress it, right? Because as a kid you're like, what the hell was that?
Right.
And then all of a sudden
you're on to the next thing.
Yeah. But then when all of a sudden 18, 19 kind of comes around, you're like, wait a minute, that wasn't right.
Yeah.
And then you start to put all that together, and then you have to deal with it.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, I think there's far too many people that don't want to talk about it because there's shame surrounding it. There's guilt, or all those emotions, and as men, well, I'm not one of those, kind of thing.
Exactly.
But it took me a while to realize you're a child, John. You can't control what some adult is doing to a child.
Right.
You're of a 5-year-old mindset,
Exactly. And I felt the same way. As I can't tell nobody about this. They're gonna see me like I like that or something, or I'm weak or anything like that, So you just keep it to yourself, and that's how I am with a lot of things, and that's probably part of the reason why I'm like that with a lot of things. I keep a lot of things to myself, and just you have a war inside, and you deal with it, you figure it out, So.
Well, and at least you're handling it in a healthy way,
Right.
like these other guys that are, on these apps and trying to find children.
Right. Exactly. It's crazy how you can, there's a good way and a bad way,
Right.
And I don't know what happens to make people go that route, but I know that I feel like it has to do with something happened to them when they were younger.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it's just a chemical thing, but I feel like it's a choice. It's something that they feel. As children, when we, if you're watching an old movie and let's say you're eating something that you really liked back then, you remember that, you know? So I feel like that they remember that, and if they liked it or whatever, there's something good associated with it, they continue to do that behavior,
Right.
And some people realize that's not what you were supposed to do, and you go a different route. So I don't know, but I wish that, I hope one of the guys I catch will let me dive into his brain.
Get inside their brain.
Oh, yeah, because that's why I videotape and put on YouTube, so people can be aware.
Yeah.
I didn't expect, the first video, I didn't expect anybody to watch my video. I was like, okay, let's put it up on YouTube. Hopefully someone will notice him, because that's the biggest platform,
Mm-hmm.
And then that video just took off because somebody recognized him. So I was like, that's crazy. And then I already had 2 more that were ready to meet. So I just put them right back to back to back,
And now you're off and running, man.
Yeah, it's a lot. Everyone's hitting me up, talking about it, but I'm just glad that people are aware. People in Nebraska are aware. The guy I just caught, Chula Vista, Brandon, they're aware. There's people in Escondido hitting me up, so it's getting around, and that's what I want. Parents need to be aware.
You're starting a conversation,
right?
And it's a conversation needs to be had, because, and I'm guilty of this as a parent, is that my kids have devices and stuff like that, and I'm probably not doing the best job, monitoring and checking things, but we try to control other factors and
Right.
situations, but it's scary to realize how rampant this is.
Right.
You know, as you're demonstrating clearly.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think it at least forces a conversation for our society locally to have and say, look, you know, here's evidence
Right.
of what you're finding.
Exactly. And that's all I want is just people to understand that it can happen to your kid. And a lot of times we watch stuff on TV or news and we're like, oh, that's terrible. But we don't feel it because it's not happening to us or around us like that.
Yeah.
But once it does, it's like, oh my gosh, it's the end of the world. You got to take action before it gets to that point.
Right.
You know? And another thing is like, before I was doing this, I wanted to be a basketball player, a rapper. Like, you know, I was doing that lifestyle.
Mm-hmm.
I got tats on my neck, you know. And it's like people that look like me can make a difference, you know. You don't have to look a certain type of way. You don't have to be a certain skin color. You don't have to believe in a certain religion. You don't have to even support the president or anything like that, you know. You don't have to support politics, but you can protect the children. And at the end of the day, it's not about politics. It's not about any of that. It's about our children. Because once we're gone, they got to deal with everything left.
Yeah.
So it's like, you know, I can talk. I don't necessarily agree with everything that Trump says, right?
Yeah.
But he has done things in regards to sex trafficking,
Yeah.
you know? So it's like I could sit down and have a conversation with Trump because we agree on that.
Yeah.
And that's all that matters to me.
Yep.
You know? So people have to get out of the box of just sitting around and watching.
Yeah.
Like, get up.
Yeah.
You know, get up and do something.
Well, and you're a man of action.
Yeah.
And you're taking action. Because you could be sitting on the couch and just being like, oh, well, somebody should do this.
Exactly.
But you're actually doing it.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm a big believer in ripple effects.
Mm-hmm.
And so, you know, you're making this ripple effect, and, you know, that ripple effect came on to my life show. And then so I'm hoping that this ripples out, and hopefully it'll motivate other men to step up and get people shook.
Right. Exactly. It's like, you know, people hit me up like, oh, I would have beat him up. I would have done this. That's not going to do anything.
Yeah.
We have to get information. We have to be able to have conversations about this and not get emotional about it. I mean, it's an emotional topic, but you have to think clearly about this stuff, you know, because there are laws that protect these guys.
Which is mind-boggling.
Crazy, right?
Yeah.
And what blew my mind was like, at one point, if I was smoking some marijuana, I'm going to jail for a while.
Yeah.
These guys will get out the next day for coming to meet up with a child.
And destroying that child's life.
Forever, you know? And something has to change. And if it takes someone like me to start that change, then cool. If it takes, you know, a whole community, then let's do it, you know? So
let's talk about the community here, because we're in Southwest Riverside County. We're about an hour north of San Diego, hour east of Orange County, 2 hours from LA. So we're kind of in this little pocket over here off of Southern California. And it's a pretty middle-class, safe place to live. And so where I want to go with this is that there's always a spectrum, right? And so immediately I would think that everybody would be cheering you on. Like, oh, man, you're the best. Oh, thank you so much.
Right.
But as is the case with spectrums, meaning there's the 100% that are right behind you all the way down to the people that are against you, not everybody's rooting for you.
Yeah. Well, you know, people have their opinions on it. People feel like, I guess some people probably feel like setting these guys up. But what I know is that I make decisions as a man. And as a man, you got to live with those decisions. So even if a kid on the app hits me up as a man, I'm making the decision not to talk to that kid. It's not about, well, I was just curious to see anything. It's nothing. You're making a decision. So anyone who disagrees with what I'm doing, that's fine. We live in the United States. You can disagree. You know, we can agree to disagree. I just
don't understand their logic.
I don't understand either, and maybe that's something else we could dive into. You know, but to me, it's we just have to protect the kids. Like, I don't know what else to say. Like, no matter what I do, people are going to disagree with it. You know, no matter what it is in life, someone's going to agree, someone's going to disagree. But maybe they don't have kids. Maybe they haven't been molested. Maybe they don't know what is. You know, if you haven't gone through it, you might not be able to relate. Yeah. You know, if you don't have kids, you might not be able to relate. But I know what I'm doing is right. I feel like what I'm doing is right. My community backs me. So there's no one can stop that, you know? Like, even if I stop now, people are going to still see those videos. Yeah. Parents are going to get their own ideas. They're going to do things. It's gonna take off in its own way, you know, even if I didn't do another video. Yeah. You know, so that's all I wanted. I got tired of living a life of being scared to do something that people would disagree with, and then also not impacting other people. You know, we all get caught up in the everyday life. Like, I got to pay my bills, stress, the news, everything. The election, you know, everything, right?
Yeah.
But we forget that we can make a difference right now. You don't have to wait until next year or your New Year's resolution, all that stuff. You could do it right now. And I was like that too. Before, I was like, I'll wait, or I had help, or I'm asking for help. It's like, you don't have to.
You're always waiting for the next thing to come
Yeah,
into
you know?
place.
Yeah, and you're like, or, you know, paying attention to things that really don't matter.
Yeah.
And we all we all get caught up in that. And so I was sitting there, and like, you know, when you lose your job or you quit, you're kind of like desperation. You're like, oh God, what am I gonna do? Why did I do that? But at the same time, it was like, I could die tomorrow, so let's do something that can make a difference. Like, don't go back to 9 to 5. Let's do something crazy. So this, you know, to people is crazy, but I love my children. I love my friends that I have in the community. I love their children. So if I'm going to spend my time doing anything, it's going to be something that matters. It's not going to be going to a job to make money for another person, you know? And I'm not doing this for money because my community matters. I grew up here. You know, they've supported me. So
now, can we switch gears into, shall we talk about the Promenade Mall?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if I'm not supposed to, but, you know.
So for those watching, one of the episodes, which was probably your most viewed one, I imagine.
Now it is, yeah.
Yeah, now it is. Right?
The first one had the top spot, but this one has taken it, yeah.
Yeah, I imagine, because now it's getting all this wind in the sails,
right,
if you will.
Right.
So there was a young man with a young child, his own child, that hit you up and wanted to meet at the Promenade Mall here in Temecula. And so, you know, you went and did your thing, and you blurred out the kid's face. You know, you did all those proper steps.
Right.
And you got the proper disclaimer in there saying, you know,
innocent until proven guilty.
Innocent until proven guilty. But what came out of this essentially was that this suspect or person was involved in an actual elementary school or junior.
Yeah. So there is an investigation going on right now, so I can't say certain things, but I can tell you what's on the video and get a little detail about that. But after, I didn't know this before, but after kind of find out the guy worked for Paris Elementary School District. He wasn't a teacher, he was something else. So, but I gave them the evidence, everything that you see on the chats and the tape and all that on the evidence, and pretty much he's part of a union. So the union, I believe, is backing him. They reached out to me, I think, 2 weeks ago, Paris Elementary School District, and they asked if necessary would I be willing to testify if it came down to it. Of course, I'm not saying no to anything this year. So I said yes, of course, I'll testify. And then I get a letter from the mall, not a letter, an email from the mall, saying I need to cease and desist that video due to the fact that I did not have their permission to record on the property. And they
demanded that you
take
it down.
Oh, sorry, yeah. They demanded that I take it down, and if I did not, they would reach out to the authorities as if I wasn't already in contact with the authorities. But the issue I had with that was they could have, you know, emailed me and said, hey, can you please remove our name? You know, can you blur this out? You know, please, can you do that? Or, you know, I'll give you 48 hours to do anything like that. But to say I demand that you take down your video, and if you don't, I'm going to call the authorities. The person I am, do it. Call them.
You called their bluff. Now, like, oh, crap.
Yeah, call them, you know? And I don't know if that's right or wrong, but that's how I am.
Yeah.
So after that, I told them I was going to take the video down. I let people know that the Promenade Mall was asking me to take the video down, and I was thinking about it. And I got a huge wave of support saying, keep the video up. People writing the Promenade Mall, calling, asking, why are you wanting him to take the video down, which shows a child predator coming to meet up with a child. So it's, you know, and that's a deeper conversation. A lot of us care more about the image instead of what really matters. To me, what they're doing, they don't want their image to look bad, so they don't want the video to be taken down. Instead of saying, hey, thank you for doing that, you know, let's you know, support this movement because kids are constantly at the mall.
Yeah.
So that way people know it's not going to happen at the mall. You know?
Yeah, I think they missed an opportunity to do some good.
That's how I felt.
Come alongside you and
Right.
bring some awareness to it.
Right.
You know, they
but
could have done it.
I also think the union was most likely, and I'm just saying most likely,
Sure.
putting pressure on them. You know, the union doesn't want the video up. That's evidence. You know, but like I said, there's an investigation going on. I will do everything I need to do in that situation. His family even reached out to me, upset with the video, and you know, I'm not the person you should be talking to about the video. I'm not in the video. I'm not the one who got caught in the video. Talk to the person who got caught.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, I don't want any issues. I'm just doing what I feel is right for my community, and I would never be in that situation.
Well, and that was my follow-up question is, now that these videos are getting out and you're
Yeah.
getting this awareness, you know, you got some fans cheering you on and stuff
Mhm.
like that. But then I think there was one where you're at the gas station or something.
Yes.
And was it Steve?
Steve gets some donuts.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, Steve gets some donuts. Was not happy. So yeah, I can talk about it. What happened was I went to the gas. Sorry, he went to the gas station. I noticed him. He noticed me.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, great. He went out. I wanted to make sure he didn't follow me, make sure he left or didn't like do anything with my car or anything like that. So I was recording, you know, which I can legally. I can record. He sees me recording, gets upset, and F you, you know. So I don't mean to do an accent. F you.
Yeah.
I apologize for that. I don't mean to do an accent, but that's how he spoke. F you. And I was like, look, Steve, I don't want any problems. You know, I just want you to go. And he kept coming closer to me. And I was like, Steve, I don't want to get crazy. If you want to get crazy, we'll get crazy. I can handle myself, but you shouldn't approach me. And that's the thing about living in a small community. It's going to happen.
Yeah.
And I know that. And, you know, I just pray that nothing happens, you know. And sometimes when you're trying to start a movement or do something that matters, there's dangers that come with that.
Absolutely.
But how I'm feeling right now is, like I said, I'd rather go out doing this than over something that doesn't matter. And but at the same time, I pray that doesn't happen. But yeah, I do probably need to get more safety equipment or something.
Maybe some mace or something.
Some
you know?
mace or something, you know. But right now, I'm just, you know, living in the moment, hoping nothing happens, and hopefully God protects me while I'm out with, you know, just doing my thing.
Well, I'm a believer myself, man, and I was telling you before the show started that you know when you got your vest on and you got your shirt on and stuff like that, you just, in my mind, have this appearance of like this guardian angel, like you're showing up on the scene kind of thing and doing God's work. And so I think when you're doing God's work, you know, one is He's going to protect you, but two, spiritual warfare. There are going to be those demons that are going to try to come after you, and the darker forces trying to take you down, you know?
And that's something that's crazy because if you ask my family, I'm not a calm person. I have an anger issue at times, you know, and there's things I still need to work on. But when I do this, it's not me.
Yeah.
You know, it has to be God.
It's like that spirit flowing through you.
Yeah, you know, and like I don't feel fear. I don't feel anger. You know, like, and there's times where I get a little, you know, like with Uncle Glenn, he kept going back and forth. It's like, look, you better listen to me. You're doing something wrong, you know? And that gets you a little angry. But at the same time, God's in my head just saying, look, you got to stay calm. You know, that's not why you're here, you know? So in order to get information, you got to stay calm. I don't know. So it's something else because in my average life, I'm not like that. I'm really not.
So if the cameras weren't there, it might be a different story.
If the cameras weren't there, no, I'm not that I would like, you know, I'll defend myself, right? But I'm not the type to, if someone approaches me, it's like, yo, what's up? What do you want to do, you know? But when I'm doing that, it's like, that's not in me.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, and I think it's interesting how you, right off the bat, would say, you know, this video is for my protection, yours, so that way you can't say that I beat you up or I followed you out of the parking lot or whatever. You know, get in your car and go.
Yeah.
You know, so you're in dangerous territory doing a dangerous thing kind of deal, but you're doing it what it seems the right way. You know, cool, calm, collected. You know, you're not trying to hurt anybody, but guess what? You're famous on YouTube now, Mr. Predator person, you know?
Exactly, and it's like you said, I have that authoritarian, you know, stance or whatever it is, and I think that helps. Yeah. But at the same time, you know, I know things could go south, but I just, like I said, I pray about it. And if you have that faith, it's like you just go with it, you know. So, and I haven't. What's crazy, like I haven't gone to church in a while. You know, before this, I wasn't going to church. I was living a different lifestyle, and He brings you back. That's what I would say. Like, and I feel a need to go to church now. I feel a need to speak about Him, you know, and do this. So, it's crazy to me. You know, I know it's probably crazy to people that know me from high school and stuff like that, but you know,
I see so many doors of opportunity opening up to you this year.
It's scary.
Speaking of church, you know, I could see a lot of churches or congregations wanting to bring you in, maybe talk about this kind of thing, because this is a topic that needs to be talked about.
Well, I started going to, 412 in Marietta, the church. Have you heard that one?
No, I haven't heard.
I think it's the pastor name is Tim. My good friend from high school, Daniel Dito. he doesn't even know, like, his friendship means a lot to me, so I'm shouting him out, you know. He means a lot to me from high school, and he invited me to a church, and the church is run by this guy named Tim. Great church. Right when I started doing this, I was going through a lot, like, should I do this? Am I ruining people's lives? Like, you know, and do people even care about this, you know? And when I went to that church, he was saying things, you know, and he saw my video, shouting, he's like, I love you, you know, what you're doing is great. You know, you're the, what do you say, the salt, you know, to...
Salt of the earth.
Salt, yeah, stuff like that. And I was like, you know what, that's God speaking to me, so I'm going to continue to do this. And so I've been going to church, you know, ever since. So, and I need to, because there's a lot of evil that I'm dealing with right now. Yeah. And I see some crazy stuff every day, or men sending crazy things every day. So it's like you have to have that counter effect, you know.
Got to wear that armor. The armor
you
of
have
God,
to,
man.
you know, and continue to do it for the right reason. That's my biggest thing. Like, I don't like asking for like money, like all that's like, even this merchandise. My Kai wants me to do this, you know, and but at the same time, I want parents to have this, you know, so people everywhere you go know it's not gonna happen here, you know, and I just hope that this will start a bigger conversation.
Well, I think it definitely is.
And
I know you're a humble and modest man, but I'm a promoter by nature, so let me throw the spotlight on you. So there's going to be some merchandise coming out with the Gotcha logos and stuff like that. Oh, here we go. I don't know what camera we got. We got so many cameras around here. And then also I was very happy to be a donator to the GoFundMe account. And so I'll be donating some more here because I think it's a great cause, and you know this ripple effect has to go out.
Right.
You know what's $100, $200, or you know if we all pooled this together, and so you could do this on a full-time scale, man.
And honestly, like, what is it? October, September. I was so dedicated to music. I was doing nothing else but making music. I haven't touched my music since I started this.
Wow.
You know, and that's a big deal because I left basketball to do music and, you know, raise my daughter. So this has just taken everything, you know. It's just, I'm okay with that, you know. I'd rather my legacy be this than anything else.
That's right.
You know.
But ladies and gentlemen, it does cost money to live. So please, if you feel so inclined, make sure you look up E.J. Twyman, his GoFundMe account.
I have GoFundMe, Patreon. Patreon, you know what that is, right? Patreon. So whatever.
Is it all under Gotcha Predator?
Yeah, all under Gotcha Predator.
Okay.
So I can send you the links or whatever it is, but I don't like talking about all that.
I know. Well, that's why I was trying to talk about it for you.
Yeah,
so.
I don't like talking about that.
But I think it is important, and a worker is worthy of his wages. You know,
that's what Kai says all the time. He's always in my
ear. I like this Kai guy. We should have brought him in, man.
Hey, he's great. Next time, we're gonna bring him in. He's a great guy. He's a great guy. I'm glad I met him.
Right on. Yeah. Well, you have an open invite to come back on the show anytime you want, my friend.
Yeah, that sounds good to me.
Let's get this message out. Let's protect these kids. Let's serve this community. You're doing the right thing. And thank you so much for being on the show. Is there any final thoughts you want to end off with?
I just want all the parents to take the time and get your kids off the phones. Talk to them about what can possibly happen with technology. Show them love. Go outside, play sports. We got to get off of technology a little bit and have a conversation. So, yeah.
Sums it up right there. And if you are a predator in the Southwest Riverside County area, don't do it. Don't do it. Just stop. Just knock it off, or else you'll be meeting EJ face-to-face, and I don't think you're going to want that. You're going to get shook. So that's it for this episode of the Red Sox Community Show. EJ, thank you so much, man.
Thank you.
God bless you. And we'll see you on the next episode. And we'll see you in escrow. Bye.
There we go, man.
There it is.
That was nice, bro. I like that.